الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمدك اللهم سبحانك كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. نحمدك اللهم آناء الليل وأطراف النهار معترفين بسلطانك حامدين شاكرين لنعمائك. أدعو الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يديم علينا نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة، وأن يلهمنا العزم والعزيمة والصبر والثبات على أن نحمده على تلك النعمات، اللهم آمين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، يحيي ويميت وهو حي لا يموت وهو على كل شيء قدير، شهادة قامت بها السماوات والأرض. أدعو الله سبحانه وتعالى ألا يحرمنا إياها لحظة لقائه، اللهم آمين. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه، أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك. اللهم اجزه عنا خير ما تجزي به مرسلا ونبيا. اللهم شفعه فينا شفاعة لا نعذب بعدها أبدا. اللهم اسقنا من حوضه شربة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا، اللهم آمين. محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم طب القلوب ودواؤها وعافية الأبدان وشفاؤها ونور الأبصار وضياؤها. صلى عليك الله يا علم الهدى ما هبت النسائم وما لاحت على الأيك الحمائم. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, our children, boys and girls, the future of Islam, inshallah. We're still discussing, trying to understand and comprehend how our hearts are functioning and what kind of hearts we do have and what good is in our hearts or otherwise, what bad is there, and what would lead to those good sound hearts or otherwise bad things go in to our hearts, causing some illness and disease. And even some people would have dead hearts. What is the cause or the causes behind this? And what are the treatments and the cure and medications for all of them? We have discussed all of those issues earlier. Today, inshallah, we'll look at what kind of heart you do have. Do you know what label you can attach to your heart? What kind? We'll figure out inshallah today. Mainly scholars have been teaching us that the types of hearts, kinds of hearts are two categories. Al-Qulub al-Bayda, Al-Qulub al-Sawda. White hearts and black hearts, mainly. The white hearts, يأبى صاحب هذا القلب أن يفتح مسامات قلبه لغير الحق. People, Muslims, believers who do have the white hearts, they will never allow any bad things to go to their hearts. Whatever that bad thing is. What are these white hearts? القلوب المطمئنة والقلوب السليمة والقلوب المنيبة والقلوب الوجلة والقلوب التقية والقلوب المخبتة والقلوب المؤلفة. These are the kinds of white hearts, and we'll take each one of them to find out what that heart is all about. Is it my heart, or I do not have this one? Or maybe I have a combine of 2 or 3 of all of them there. The first one of those types of hearts, al-qulub al-mutma'inna. Al-qulub al-mutma'inna. Where you find in the teaching of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us that الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Meaning, more or less, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in Islamic monotheism, and those hearts whose hearts find rest in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هذا هو القلب المطمئن. First, you are a believer, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where the Iman, faith, has been penetrated deeply in your heart. And then you will find that comfort and rest once you remember Him. Once you have been indulged in remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide you with that al-qalb al-mutma'in. The rest is there. The comfort is there. You don't have to worry about anything in this world. Believer first, Iman is in your heart. Al-Iman ma waqara fil qalbi wa saddaqahu al-amal. Your faith that has been penetrated deeply in your heart has been established firmly in your heart, and it has been translated in actions in your life. So the Iman is in the heart. I'm a believer. Iman is there. Whenever I remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, say whatever you would like to say, remembering Him, you'll find that rest, that comfort, that tranquility there. The question would be, some people would say, I remember Allah all the time. I say, Ya Allah, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. And I say it several times, sometimes 10 times, sometimes 20 times, sometimes 100 times. Yet, I don't find that rest. I don't find that comfort. I don't find that tranquility. Ask yourself first, how's your Iman there? And are you a believer or not? There are some prerequisites for that remembering of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you to have that comfort. This is the first kind. Do you have that heart? If you do, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. If I don't, I have to find out what should I do. Test your Iman. You believe in something? Yes. It has been translated in your actions? Alhamdulillah. It has been shown? Yes. Now when you remember Him, it would help you to have that rest and comfort, tranquility in your heart. This is the first kind. Al-qulub al-mutma'inna. The Second kind. القلوب السليمة, القلب السليم, the sound heart, the good heart, the pure heart, the clean heart. Do I have it? When you look at some verses of the Quran in here, telling us and teaching us about the sound, good, clean, clear, pure heart. It's in here in chapter 26 where there is a wonderful dua, supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I would really urge all of you to do it once in a while, where it says, وَجَعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ, and grant me an honorable mention in later generations. Asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bestow upon you this. وَجَعَلْنِي مِنْ وَرَثَةِ النَّعِيمِ, and make me one of the inheritors of the paradise of delight. It's another dua we make in our life. وَاغْفِرْ لِأَبِي إِنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he's making that supplication, the dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring his father to the belief, because at that time was manufacturing idols made of wood for people to worship. Ibrahim would love to have his father come to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why he made this dua, and forgive my father, verily he is of the erring. وَلَا تُخْزِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ, and disgrace me not on the day when all the creatures will be resurrected. At that day of judgment, what would happen? يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ, the day where neither wealth nor sons will avail. My money, my wealth, my offspring will never help me facing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help me, forgive me, and enable me to enter paradise. It's only my deeds. That's it. How? إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, except him who brings to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clean heart, clear heart from the shirk, monotheism, and nifaq, hypocrisy. So you ask yourself, is my heart is one of those qalbun salim at the day of judgment, clean from shirk, not to take any partners or associates with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and clean from hypocrisy? That's the definition of al-qalb salim. If you claim that I have a qalb salim, okay, the good, sound, clean, clear, are you taking the partners and associates with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No, so you have it. I'm a hypocrite, indulge in hypocrisy, nifaq, wal-'iyadhu billah? No, you do have that heart. If that shirk is there, taking partners and associates with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means my heart is not that clean or clean. Hypocrisy, there, I do not have that heart. I cannot claim that I do have it. I have to do something about it. Especially when it comes to that shirk, taking partners and associates with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a lot of people would say, I don't worship idols. This is the shirk. I worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is great. But maybe consciously or unconsciously, known or unknown, that you've taken partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without realizing such a thing. How? My job, my business, my money. I worship all of them along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I put my job, I put my business, I put my money, I put my wealth at the first priority in my life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come second or third, or by the end of my list. Shirk, wal-'iyadhu billah. You want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala number one in your life, or the other things number one in your life? Could be a shirk too, without even realizing that. I'm busy, I have to fulfill all of my, financial obligations and so on and so forth. I get to be promoted. I get to finish my education. I get to, work as hard as I can in my business in order to do this and that, while all of the above are in the expense of your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At that point, you do not have that al-qalb al-salim, that clean and clear heart. Hypocrisy. I would say what is not in my heart. Totally the opposite. Show the other face of myself while I'm hiding something else. I do have a hidden agenda, but I pretend that I am such as hypocrisy. If they are there, that al-qalb al-salim is not there. It is not there. How about al-qalb al-munib? Al-qalb al-munib. What do we mean by al-qalb al-munib? Let's go to Surah Qaf in order to have that wonderful definition of al-qalb al-munib. That qalb, that heart, who has been always coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala no matter what, especially when we're committing something wrong or sins, and I repent. He is my reference point. I check everything to find out whatever I'm doing is in accordance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. I return to Allah all the time. All the time I'm planning to do this. It is in accordance to the teaching of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yes, go ahead and do it. If it is not, no, I'm not going to do it. هذا هو القلب المنيب. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained it to us in Surah Qaf. وَأُزْلِفَتِ الْجَنَّةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ. Paradise will be brought near to al-muttaqeen. Those who are conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have that piety and pious to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not far off. هذا ما توعدون لكل أواب حفيظ. It will be said, this is what you were promised. It is for those of returning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in sincere repentance, and those who preserve their covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by obeying Him in all what He has ordered and worshipping none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Follow Allah's religious Islamic monotheism. Who are they? من خشي الرحمن بالغيب وجاء بقلب منيب. Who fear the most gracious Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ghaib, in the unseen, and brought heart turned in repentance to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a qalb al-munib. How often you go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to find out whatever you're doing is in accordance with teaching or not? Or I know what I'm doing. My business, I know how I'm running my business. I know what's halal and haram in my business, no problem. I don't have to check with Quran or Sunnah or the teaching of Allah or the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I know when I'm investing my money, I know how much of benefit I can have out of it, whether it is in accordance to Islam or not, haram or halal, permissible or not permissible, it's lawful or unlawful. I have to check for a very simple reason. Because in everything we do in our life, we have that way of trying to find out, am I going to the right direction or not? When I'm driving from one point A to point B, I always check, I'm going to the right direction, and nowadays I have my GPS to tell me where I'm going. I'm driving in what speed? according to the rules and regulations of the traffic, or I'm speeding up, or I'm slowing down. With my health, I check everything once in a while. My blood pressure, my cholesterol, my diabetes, and so on and so forth, to find out what I'm doing. In my business, I check to find out how much I'm making a profit there. I check everything in my life, except when it comes to our deen. We do not do that very often. It means that I do not have that al-qalb al-munib, to check with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to return to Him. If I did something wrong, I repent to Him sincerely. Al-qalb al-munib. Do you have this heart? You have to find out. Other ones, al-qalb al-wajil, wal-qalb al-taqi, wal-qalb al-mukhbit, wal-qulub al-mu'allafa. We'll be talking about it inshallah shortly. لازلنا في رحاب المصطفى. الذنب لا ينسى والذنب لا ينسى والديان لا يموت. كل من آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون والتائب من الذنب كمن لا ذنب له. ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأصلي وأسلم على رسول الله صلاة وتسليما يليقان بالحبيب المصطفى النبي المجتبى صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وتابعيه وتابعي تابعيه إلى يوم الدين. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, maybe some of us would say that, wallahi, this is the first time I have heard about all those types of hearts. And I do not know what kind of heart I do carry inside me. It is the time now to learn. No one would have any excuse. Knowledge is available, and I have to find out about what is going on and what kind of heart I do have there. If it is good one, right one, alhamdulillah. If it is not, with any other things would take it to the wrong direction, I have to go back to find out. To find out. Al-qalb al-wajil. Very simple definition of that al-qalb al-wajil. هو الذي يخاف الله عز وجل. Very simple. Are you afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your whole entire life? I fear Him. I'm conscious of Him. I'm aware of Him. I follow what He told me to do, what He's recommended me to do, what He ordered me to do. With that fear, being afraid that I will end up in the hellfire, fearing Him, but in the meantime I have the hope and amal fi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me, to bestow His mercy upon me, to guide me, to help me. But that fear has to be there. When we're driving somewhere, I'm afraid a cop would catch me because I'm speeding. Fear. I'm afraid that I would end up without enough money to sustain my life or to spend in my kids' education. Fear. I'm afraid that I would flunk that course I'm studying in my education. I have to do something about it. Do you fear Allah the same way you fear some other things in your life, or you don't care? إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. Again, the believers. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been mentioned in any way, in any situation, with anyone, وجلت قلوبهم. That fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. I got to be careful. I got to be extra conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some people, wallahi, they don't care at all. At all. Whether Allah is there or not, fearing Him or not, Well, that's why some people, don't you fear Allah in what you're doing? Especially when someone would find someone else is doing something wrong or going against the teaching of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't you fear him? He would afflict a huge punishment upon you in this dunya and in the hereafter, and in the hereafter will be much worse. There is no Jannah. Fearing Allah. But the prerequisite for this, you have to be a believer. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. When the verses or the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been recited, has been read to them, زادتهم إيمانا, it would increase their iman. وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. They have been always dependent heavily on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in each and every single affair of their life. That fear of Allah, it has to be there. This is al-qalb al-wajl, full of fear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Check your heart and find out that fear is there. Whatever I do, I'm afraid something might happen to me. I'm afraid if I'm not following the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something might be afflicted in my life. So I have to be careful. I have to be careful. Al-qalb al-wajl. Al-qalb al-taqi. Being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always. Always. Keeping in mind He has been observing you, watching you 24/7. 24/7. He is there. If you can hide from Him somewhere and do something, be my guest. You can't hide from Him anyway. But keeping in mind, He's observing me, He's watching me. In what I'm doing, in what I'm saying, in what I'm whispering, in what I'm seeing, in what I'm hearing, even in what I'm thinking about. He is watching me. Be careful. Be extra carefully. Not to let any bad things come to your life or to your heart. This is what the taqwa Allah. ذلك ومن يعظم شعائر الله فإنها من تقوى القلوب. Once we follow the rites and rituals of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is part of that taqwa, fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-qulub al-mukhbitah. Maybe even for the Arabic-speaking people, this is the first time some would say, this is the first time Allah I have heard about that al-qulub al-mukhbitah. And what do we mean by mukhbitah? What do we mean by that? Listen to the Quran. The definition is there. You don't have to go anywhere, just listen to it in Surah Al-Hajj. وَلْيَعْلَمَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ فَيُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ فَتُخْبِتَ لَهُ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَهَادِي الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. Those who have been given knowledge may know that this Quran, the teaching of the Quran, the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, until the hour comes suddenly upon them, or there comes to them torment of the day after which there will be no night, nothing is there. But here when you know this, those who have been given knowledge may know that it is this Quran is the truth from their Lord. You believe in it? Or we just have a copy and put it in the shelf and not utilize it, not look at it, not to study it, not to follow it, subhanallah rabbil alameen. To follow the Quran because it is the truth from Allah, so that they may believe therein and their hearts may submit to it with humility. submitting to the Quran, to the teaching of Allah with humility, this is al-qalb al-mukhbit. I got the knowledge from the Quran. I got the teaching from the Quran. I am willing to follow the teaching of that Quran. Now my heart is willing to follow the teaching of the Quran. Not anything else to teach me to follow. It is the teaching of the Quran, the knowledge of the Quran. It is available. I listen to it. I read it. I understand it. And I'm willing in humility to follow what the Quran is telling me. هذا هو القلب المخبت لله سبحانه وتعالى. Are you once in a while to check the Quran for one issue in your life to find out, oh, the teaching is there, the knowledge is there, I should follow this, I should not follow any other things? No excuse. The teaching is there, the Quran is there, whatever the language you would like to see there, even with the translation of the meaning, no excuse. You can read it in Arabic, that's fine. Have some difficulties in understanding it in Arabic, go to the books of interpretation, no problem. You cannot read it in Arabic, but I need to read it in my own native tongue. There is a translation of the meaning, you can read it. No excuse. Knowledge has to be there, and I have to follow the knowledge, and I have to follow the teaching of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. By doing this, I have already established that al-qalb al-mukhbit, following the teaching of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. How about al-qulub al-mu'allafa? Al-qulub al-mu'allafa. Where in the Quran you will find about those al-qulub al-mu'allafa? لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم ولكن الله ألف بين قلوبهم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam at the time when he was receiving the revelation. First, the people of Mecca, al-Muhajirin, those who had to leave Mecca to al-Madinah. When he reached out for them, when he preached them, their hearts were totally sealed, were totally locked, not following anything good in Arabia at that time, and you name it and you know it. It is not fighting, it is bloodshedding, it is killing themselves and killing each other, and even burying their daughters alive. No justice, no fairness, no mercy, no forgiveness. Yet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is teaching them Islam, calling them to Islam, to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to believe in Him as a messenger and as a prophet. Yet hearts are not that receptive to the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did his best in order to call upon them to come to Islam. He did his homework. He performed his task in order to bring them to Islam. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for him in order to bring them to Islam. You Muhammad, this is the ayah, if you spend whatever the whole world has of wealth and money in order to bring their hearts together to believe in Islam, you will never be able to do so except when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought their hearts together, clean it, clear it, purify it in order to perceive Islam and believe in it. Al-qulub al-mu'allafa. The teaching of Islam would bring your heart to Islam. The knowledge of Islam would bring your heart to Islam. And not only this as individual, but it would bring your heart as a wonderful dear brother and a sister to another wonderful brother and a sister. Your hearts will get together for the sake of Allah in righteousness. هذا هو تأليف القلوب. Work together regardless, whatever your country is, whatever your ethnic background is, whatever your nationality is, whatever the language you're speaking is, whatever your gender is, it is Allah who has ألف هذه القلوب. Bring all of those hearts together, worshipping Him, believing Him, and take care of us. Look around and see. How many people from your own country around you? Few. But the rest of them from all over, coming from the four corners of the world. What brings you to this masjid in order to be seated with another one in front of you or in back of you or to your right or to your left without knowing who he is? It is Islam. It is ta'leeful qulub. It is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought you from whatever the country you came from, whatever the language you speak, whatever your ethnic background, to be in one masjid together. It is ta'leeful qulub. Is how the hearts get together. The knowledge of Islam first and foremost, and it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. You became brethren. Due to that ni'mah of Allah, that bounty of Allah, the Islam of Allah, the deen of Allah, the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do I have that heart of mu'allaf? My heart is willing to be with the other hearts of people around me, or I'm separate from them. I am totally different from you. You don't speak my language, I don't talk to you. You're not from my country, I don't even say salam alaikum to you. You're not from my ethnic background, I don't care who you are. I don't speak your language, go speak with your folks, you know your language, I don't care. Check your heart. If that heart is willing for that ta'leef to be together, you have that al-qalb al-mu'allaf by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you have any of them? Alhamdulillah. You have all of them? Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. If you have all of them with you, al-qalb al-mutma'in, wal-qalb al-salim, wal-qalb al-munib, wal-qalb al-wajib, wal-qalb al-taqi, wal-qalb al-mukhbit, wal-qalb al-mu'allaf. 7 of them, if you have them at your heart, you're the best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us and provide us and enable us to have all of those kind, not only 1 or 2, all of them inside my heart in order to help me to be the best ever in the way of Allah and the way of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So when I say to myself, how's my heart today? It is good. It is sound. It is purified. It is clean. No room for any bad things there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to provide us with that heart. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات يا رب العالمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين وأعل بفضلك راية الحق والدين وانصرنا على عدوك وعدونا يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرنا نصر أمة محمد واجعلنا منهم واخذل من خذل أمة محمد ولا تجعلنا منهم اللهم ول أمورنا خيارنا ولا تول أمورنا شرارنا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا اللهم ارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين واغفر لنا أجمعين يا رب العالمين وفك أسرانا وأسر المسلمين يا رب اللهم برحمتك عمنا واكفنا شر ما أهمنا وعلى الإيمان الكامل والكتاب والسنة توفنا وأنت راض عنا اغفر اللهم لنا ولإخواننا في الله تعالى أحياء وأمواتا ولكل المسلمين أجمعين اللهم ثبت قلوبنا على الإسلام اللهم ثبت قلوبنا على الإيمان اللهم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك يا رب العالمين إليه هذا أحلنا لا يخفى عليه وهذا ضعفنا ظاهر بين يديك فعاملنا بالإحسان إذ الفضل منك وإليك واختم لنا بخاتمة السعادة أجمعين عباد الله إن الله يأمركم بثلاث وينهاكم عن ثلاث إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه يزدكم قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني ويرحمكم الله واستغفر الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر.